Where does this joy come from? What gives it wings? And makes it magical? What makes a child's dreams come true? The answer is simple. It's one's love for their sport. These words could describe the life of Nastia Luikin. Her origins in the sport are deeply rooted. Her father, Valery, represented the Soviet Union at the 1988 Seoul Games, winning 2 gold and 2 silver medals. Her mother, Anna, was a world champion in rhythmic gymnastics in 1987, but never competed at the Olympics due to injuries. After Nastia was born, they decided to leave Russia in 1992 and move to the United States. It was here that they created a gymnastics school from a converted grocery store. They couldn't afford a babysitter, so Anna and Valery would bring 2.5-year-old Nastia with them to the gym.
She was showing Valery something that she learned from older girls. And Valery kind of stopped and looked, and he asked her, how did you know this? I mean, who told you? She's like, I just saw the girls doing this. And so I think that was our first realization that she potentially has a gift. And to be very honest with you, we had very mixed feelings because with the injuries and the long hours of training and the sacrifices that you have to go through. So our first reaction, both mutually, were like, oh, absolutely no way.
When they saw how much passion and love I had for it, and I just wanted to do it, and I never wanted to leave the gym or take my leotard off, then, well, if she really likes it that much and if she wants to do it, then we'll let her do it, but we're not going to push her into it.
Her parents gave in to Nastia's wishes and let her train at the gym with Anna coaching her. As she progressed, they switched her to another coach.
One day she came in the gym with the big bruise under her eye. Just scared me. I go, what happened? What is going on? She goes, well, I did Sukahara. I was like, what did you do? You just barely can do handspins. That did it. That was the last day somebody touched Nastia. Nobody touched her anymore, except myself.
With her father as her coach, she won 2 national all-around titles and was a member of the 2007 World Championship U.S. team. Now, in 2008, they set their sights on the Beijing Olympics. (10 a.m., August 17th, the National Indoor Stadium. The competition for the individual all-around in women's gymnastics. 24 gymnasts have qualified. They will be divided into 4 groups of 6. The top qualifiers will be in the first group. 2 are from China, Yunyan Zhang and Yilin Yang. Both won a gold medal in the team event 2 days earlier. Representing the United States, 16-year-old Shawn Johnson, the current U.S. and world champion in the all-around, and 18-year-old Nastia Luikin. Johnson and Luikin finished first and second, respectively, in the qualifying round. What many thought would become a rivalry has turned into a friendship. When the U.S. team arrived at the Olympic Village, the 2 insisted on being roommates.
We were probably the 2 most similar girls on the team. We both liked to go to bed early, and get our rest was important for us. So we really got along really well. And we made a little countdown, a calendar, and we wrote in every day what competition it would be. And so finally we were about to mark it off, and it was like all-around finals. And we both just like looked at each other and we were like, I can't believe it's here.
The all-around consists of 4 disciplines: the vault, uneven bars, balance beam, and floor exercise. Like every major competition she's been in, Nastia will be coached by her father, Valery.
Normally, I am so nervous for competitions, and this is probably the most confident that I've ever been in my entire life. So he comes up to me and he's like, is everything okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm like, great. And like, yeah, I'm fine. He was just like, okay.
And I see she's very confident and very comfortable right there. It just freaks me out. We don't say this. We never say this. She never did this.
One person not at the arena Nastia's mother, Anna.
I just get really sick sitting there and watching. It's not about winning and it's not about medal. It's never been for me as a mother. It's just really my stomach would turn when I see my kid, doing all kind of hard tricks. And all what I wanted her to do is to land safe and be happy with what she did. And then that will make me happy.
The first event, the vault. Yang of China leads off. She receives a 15.175 from the judges. Now it is Nastia Luikin's turn.
Vault's not always my best and strongest event, but going into the vault, I felt confident. My training was going really well. And, the one thing that my dad told me was when he came up to me and he was just like, you know what? He was like, no matter what happens, I just want you to enjoy this and have the time of your life.
I think when I talk to her, I'm trying to comfort myself. It's sometimes I think, she knows what to do.
She receives a 15.025.
It was just such an amazing start to what I knew was going to be a great day, and see that huge smile on my dad's face from the very beginning just gave me even more confidence and strength.
Even though Shawn Johnson doesn't stick her landing, her vault has a higher degree of difficulty and she receives the highest score so far. Yunyan Zhang's fall has all but eliminated her from gold medal possibilities. When the first apparatus is completed, Shawn Johnson leads the first group. Nastia is fourth. Next, the uneven bars. This is Nastia's strongest event. Valeri has designed a routine with the highest degree of difficulty in the hopes that Nastia will outscore the rest of the competitors. She will be the first to compete.
Moving on to the bars was nerve-breaking for me. I was nervous very much because I knew if she's not gonna hit, there's no competition anymore. We're done. We're done. There is one giant extra she does before the dismount to speed up. All these crazy, difficult routine, Ds and Es. So if you messed up one skill, everything goes apart. You just stay over there and pray, Things should work.
I did have a step on the landing, but I knew that I had pretty much done as best as I could.
The plan works to near perfection, and Nastia scores a 16.650. Johnson performs well, but her lower degree of difficulty is reflected in her score. She drops to fifth place. Yang is the final competitor of the rotation. She is awarded the highest score of the day and moves into first place, leading Nastia by less than a quarter of a point. Shawn, currently in fifth, is the first on the beam. With the highest degree of difficulty in her group, this is her chance to move up on the leaders. Johnson scores high with a 16.050.
I was last on beam, and so I decided to take a seat on the floor and kind of get in my zone. And a few people before it was my turn, my dad was like, well, you want to get up and start moving around, And I was just like, okay.
Next is the current leader, Yilin Yang of China. If she scores well, it will be difficult for Nastia to overtake her.
I was worried about Chinese. After bars, she was still ahead. And you know how good Chinese on the beam, right? Chinese are excellent on the beam. And that's what scares me. Obviously, I don't talk to her about it. I don't want to create even more problems. But for me, This is becoming overwhelming at that moment.
Normally, I don't smile too much, you know, in my warm-ups or anything, and I guess I was a little bit more relaxed than normal, so he was starting to get a little antsy and kind of like, what's wrong with her?
Young makes a couple of mistakes, and the judges deduct for this. She receives a 15.750. Nastia now has a chance to go ahead of Young, but it is in Valeri's least favorite event.
Nobody likes beam. I mean, even though she said she likes it, I don't know how you can like beam. I don't know how you can like beam. It's just 4 inches. How can you? Can you even get up on this beam? I got up once on the beam. I can't run on it. I can only walk slowly, you know? No, I don't even want to talk about beam. This is crazy. It's way too much.
I can always tell that he's nervous, just mostly before bars and beam. The way he kind of walks around, I guess, and kind of pacing a little bit and deep breaths. Right as I stuck that dismount and I saw my dad's face, you know, that at that point, I knew that I had it.
Nastia receives a 16.125 and goes into first place. Young is second, and Shawn Johnson third. Because the first group is rushed to start their warm-ups at the floor exercise, Nastia does not realize she is the current leader.
You know, I was so pumped and excited. I was last on beam. We had to go right over to the floor, and I was still trying to figure out what my score was from beam. I kept looking back, and I go to warm up my first pass, and I just crashed on my face. And I was like, oh my God, 20,000 people, plus the million people at home just watched me fall on my face. And I looked at my dad, and he's like, it's okay, it's okay.
Calm down, calm down. That's nothing, not a problem. I always say that. Just move on and move along, that's fine. I mean, that's a big part of it. If you're gonna let your gymnasts see that you freak out, they're gonna start freaking out.
By the luck of the draw, Eileen Young, currently in second by only 0.15 of a point, will go first. Luikin and then Johnson will follow her. Nastia has an advantage over Young. She will know the exact score she needs to stay in first place. Young's performance is solid and is awarded a 15.0. Now it is Nastia's turn.
You know, I was just like, I cannot believe I'm about to do this. I just kept telling myself, you know how to do this, just don't overdo it and stay in bounds.
I was nervous because if she falls, we're not gonna win. There's no way.
I guess on vault and floor is when he's not as nervous. But on this floor routine, he was definitely nervous because it was all or nothing. I knew, he knew, all I had to do was just hit my routine and that I would become an Olympic champion. And that just meant so much to both of us. Walking down those steps, and just giving my dad a huge hug, I knew that no matter what had happened, no matter what color medal I got, I was so proud of my performance.
She receives a 15.525 to remain in first place. There is only one competitor left, Shawn Johnson, currently in third.
I knew Shawn was after me, and I had to, cheer her on. It was cool to be able to experience that whole thing with someone so close to you, and it pushed you, to see her every single day in the gym. It pushed both of us.
Johnson receives the same score as Nastia, 15.525. When the scores are finally tabulated, Nastia Luikin wins the gold medal, Johnson the silver, and Young the bronze. The first to congratulate her is her friend Shawn Johnson. Nastia's mother, Anna, does not know that her daughter is the all-around Olympic champion.
I called twice and she didn't answer, so I was a little mad, but I was like, okay, I'll just text her because they were kind of rushing us off to go to staging to get our medal, and my dad kept trying to call her.
I put my phone on silent because I really didn't want people to, I wanted to hear this from Nastia, just how it went. And eventually I open it up and I'm looking at this, and I have like 37 missed calls. And so I opened that up, and it says, "Mom, I won, I love you." And I literally broke down crying.
As Nastia Luikin receives her gold medal, there is a moment to reflect on the journey that brought her to the top step of the podium.
And it wasn't just me, it was such a family and team effort that, we always called ourselves Team Luikin, and all three of us, my mom, my dad. My mom wasn't my coach, but she was the support side of the team. And so, it's still surreal sometimes for me to think about it and to know that it all actually came true.
This is anything and everything that you can ever dream of. Like I say, even this is my daughter's there, I'm speechless. There's not much to describe. This is everything. This is everything.
I really truly think it's the love for the sport and love for each other, for how similar they are, and like I said, for how determined they both are. She really is a big daddy's girl and always been, and she was always there trying to do the sport, but I think the biggest pride for her is to see her dad being proud.